What's happening, everybody? In this video, we're going to take a look at the changes to Jun in patch 105. 104 made some pretty significant changes to her whole health recovery usage system, and 105 is a counterpart to those changes. So we're going to take a look at that, go over all the little details that we saw in the patch notes and what they mean. So let's get started. So the biggest change in this patch is the addition of moves that can now recover health actively. The two biggest ones of those are moves that used to previously cost health. Down back 1-1, 1+2, that used to cost health. She used Kazama power and consumed some of her own health. Now it doesn't do that anymore. Instead, it restores health. You get back 4 gray recoverable health and 4 real health. All the moves that do that are going to have that split now. Instead of just recovering 8 recoverable health, you get 4 and 4, which is better, because you still have that remaining 4. Let's say you had 8 recoverable health and you did a move that recovered 8, right? You're done. Where this recovers 4 and 4, so now you only recover half of your gray health, but you get 4 real health back. So you still have the remaining 4 recoverable gray. So if you get that back through normal means, that's recovery of 12, if you think about it that way. So all these moves do that now. They add health both in real health bar and in gray recoverable health bar, just the same way the 1.04 patch made these moves take it away. When you do that move, you can see a third of the damage is permanently gone, 2/3 of it is recoverable gauge. So these moves now recover half permanent, half recoverable gauge. They're not a lot, they're small amounts. Down back 1, 1+2, instead of costing health, used to cost 12 health gauge, I don't know, now recovers 8. Which is really good. That's a huge change. This move has one function and one function only, and that's your 15 frame Punisher. She can't launch at 15, and Rage Art's now being -15 in particular. This is your go-to punish for those things. So instead of having to do a big Punisher and using your own health, now you get health back. So that kind of makes it an even better Punisher for those things. The other category, or the other move in this category, is Izumo 1-1. On hit, that move now recovers 2 health. Doesn't sound like a lot. You get 1 real health and 1 gauge health back. But this is a move you use in combos all the time. Izumo 1-1, you use that in combos. So now if you think about how much damage you do to yourself in combos by using this as a launcher, this is your tornado attack, all the damage you do. Now if you just do this sequence, you get back 2 health from doing 1-1. In addition, all the moves that go into Izumo stance also have this property now. That includes forward 3-2, that Izumo strike, that high homing move, forward 3-2, 1-2-2, up 2, and Miare 1+2. All of those moves, when that hits, recovers 2 real health. That one doesn't have a split, by the way. That's just 2 regular normal health. So if you're doing a combo, there, and there, that's 4 health you got back. Instead of spending health. You're still spending health. You can always just use Kazama power to spend health in combos, but now you get 4 back for doing the B&B. So I think that goes a long way. Whereas she was, having to spend her own health to do damage comparable to some other characters, now she can still do that and not have to spend as much of her health, or has better control over leveraging her own health, is probably the better way to say that. You can still spend it, but you can get it back through better means. You have way more options to do that now. So all the moves that go into that, those are the ones that end in Izumo strike, as well as forward 1 and 1-1. The mid attacks that go into Izumo, same thing. Those both recover 2 real health and 2 gray anytime they hit. Blocking does nothing. You see blocking is not there. But on hit, my green health bar flashes. I'm recovering 4 health by doing that. So all these moves are on hit. None of them do this on block. You got to hit with these moves to recover health, but that's fine. We're going to find plenty of opportunities to do that. Anytime you land one of these Izumo strikes, boom, boom, there's that. As part of your mix-up and offense and all that, you're getting some health back. The next move that does this is Sidestep 2. That's a nice choice. You use this move a lot. Getting back 3 health from this, 6 health total, 3 real and 3 recoverable. 6 health is a lot. The patch notes also describe a change in behavior versus grounded opponents or something like that. All it is an additional skid when they're on the ground. Because this move is a tornado, it's kind of hard to find those situations. But at the very end of a knockdown combo like this, all it is a skid that just knocks them back a little bit further before they're able to roll. The rest of the recovery-based system now affects the Genjutsu stance. Starting with the low parry. Chunk of health back. That used to give you back 28 recoverable health, which is a lot. That's a significant amount. That's what it says, 28 recoverable health. Now it's 14 and 14. Like I explained before, that's actually better. Because instead of recovering all 28 of your gray health, you only get half of that back. You can still recover that other half, plus you're getting 14 real health. So that could theoretically be a recovery of like 42 by doing that. The Genjutsu low parry is now 14 and 14, real health and gray health. The throw reversal also recovers health now. See a little bit of green flash there at the end, you recover health. This is 8 and 8. 8 real and 8 recoverable. So you didn't get anything from that before. You only got health back off of the low parry. She always got health back from doing her heat smash. The only character with that, as far as I know. Her Genjutsu heat smash also recovers health. 12 real health on hit and 6 on block. That was a little bit different. Same thing with the regular heat smash, right? Whenever you did this thing, you still get some health back on block, but much, much less. That was one of the changes they made. She was getting a ton of health back on block, which was unfair. So you get X amount on block and double that back on hit. Same with the Genjutsu heat smash. You get 6 health back on block and 12 on hit. Pretty cool. That's a pretty cool thing. The last element is the Miare stance. The pings at which she gets health back. There's now 2 faster ones. This is every 40 frames or whatever it is, 50 frames, I'm not sure. It used to be the first ping we recover 2 health was at 30 frames and then at 80, then 120, 160, whatever. Now, the first one happens in 4 frames, another one happens in 24, and then 80. So you get 2 back right away, and then sitting here and charge it up, which you're never going to do. The reason why this is important is you can get one in the middle of that combo and possibly some other combo. The wall combo, where they're ending with that, in a like almost a just frame input, you're going to get some of your health back by doing that. You can hear the ping ping. Watch the health bar and listen for it. Ping ping. She's getting back 2 health at 4 frames and then 2 more health at 24. I don't think you have time to wait for both. You might. You got good at that. Yeah. You can get both. So you time that just right. You can get 4 health recovery right in the beginning of this combo by staying in Miare stance for just a little bit. The wall combo with the hop kick and the just frame Miare punch, that does not work here. It might be frame perfect, but you can see when I wait for the ping of health, it takes too long for the punch to connect. So it doesn't work there. So that's the biggest change, is active health recovery, which in my opinion, I think is going to be a lot. It definitely mitigates the fact that she started taking permanent health damage in version 104, but now she can recover that as well on top of recoverable health. So if you don't even think about Kazama power, if you just think about her through the natural course of a round, having gray recoverable health, she can still get that back like anyone else can. Now she can get real health back on top of that, which like nobody else can do. This might be a bit too much. They honestly might have made Jun too strong by doing this. If she can get 2 health, 3 health, 2 health all over the place, could be a bit much, but I think it's a lateral move. It's meant to counteract the 1.04 changes, but at the same time, it's just like, why bother? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what that actually does, if it's too good or if that's just right. So the rest of the patch are just about changing the health damage that she does to herself on a couple of moves and just changing a little bit of regular damage on a couple other things. Not a lot. That was the significant stuff that we just saw there. The rest of it, 2 moves now do more health damage to Jun. One of them is forward 2, 1+2. That went from doing 12 now to 18. You can see even on hit, it does the same thing. That's doing more damage total to her than it used to. This is pretty powerful. To be able to just change that into a safe move and still get some results off of it, that was really, you could throw that out a lot. So they made that do more damage on hit and on block. No matter what happens, she's spending the power there. So you start throwing that out, you're taking 18 health damage instead of just 12 before. That's going to add up. The other one is up forward 4-3, which doesn't happen on block, but on hit, does more. Again, it went from 12 damage now up to 18. But as we just saw, when you land this, ting ting, you can get to 4 of that back by standing in Miare just a little bit. So this is all give and take. I think they did a pretty good job of making sure, you know, all the ups and the downs kind of match each other equally. Yeah, this can do more damage, but you also have to play smarter. You got to, you know, use your health system a little bit better. Better leverage over your health, I think, is the key phrase here, like I said. Those are the only two that do more health damage. Less health damage is now done by up forward 1. That used to do a grip. It's a 36 damage 10 frame Punisher, but it used to do 18 to her. So like, what's the point of that? You know, like, yeah, that's 36 damage, but she used to take 18. Now she only takes 12, which again, is definitely going to add up. All of these punishes, 4 less damage each time. That's, you know, 20 extra health you're going to have at the end of the round. So that was a pretty good choice. That makes that more useful as a Punisher, that you don't have to, you know, leverage the health trade so much. You get a little bit better out of it. You get more straight up damage to your opponent now from forward 1+2. This is always a great move. And this is what you're going to use in combos, like after the heat dash and your one last unscaled hit is that guy. And I went from 30 to 32 damage. So that kind of helps with combo damage overall, because you have to spend your own health in combos. You can get some of it back. So some of the combos, they got a little bit more damage, some got a little bit less. That's the one that got a little bit more damage. You get a little bit less damage from down forward to 1+2. That second hit does 2 less damage now. That was, you know, her biggest damage launcher. Still works. You're still going to get a grip out of this. There's 4 health back right there. You know? It just does 2 less. That used to do 80, now it's 78. Big deal. Not a huge change. But it's in balance, right? It's mitigating a little bit, taking the edge off of some things. Again, combined with the fact that you get health back now, it's almost like doubling the damage. Before, when you were getting 80 damage and it used to cost you 10, now if it only costs you 5, right? Think about that as doing 85. You know, the way the health trade works. It's not just your health bar, it's yours versus theirs. So those are kind of just tiny little tweaks. While running 3 is the same thing. That just went from 32 to 28 damage. Not combo related, just a little bit less damage, whatever. Genjutsu 3-2. This move, the second hit went from 20 to 16. It does 4 less damage, but they added 2 things to this to deal with that. This is now delayable. Pretty long delay in there. The note says they're no longer a continuous block or something like that, meaning you're not jailed. You can't sidestep that. Even if I delay it to the max, they cannot step or backdash out of that, but they can try to counter hit you. So if you're just doing the one hit and stopping, and then delaying that hit, you can catch a hit on that, right? You can get people biting, maybe. So that's a little bit of versatility. On top of the fact, again, 3 by itself now goes into crouch. You can see here that she goes smoothly into crouch, whereas before, it took you 5 minutes to go into crouch out of that move because it was meant to be a continuous string. Now it's kind of like broken up, so you can use a little bit more flexibility out of it. So a little bit less damage on that second hit, but it's now delayable, and now you can transition to something else instead of that. Made it a little bit more dangerous, but takes the damage down, right? Give and take. 2 of her lows now have better frame data on block. You can see that's now 12. It used to be 13. Jun could do like this as a punish, for example. But now Genjutsu 1 is only 12 on block, which is good. That's a low you're going to use a lot. Canceling this into that low, that's a dangerous move, but you can vary up the timing into that low. It's a good low. Making it 12 instead of 13 is definitely an improvement. I'll take it. That means a lot of characters now have to resort to like a while standing 4 for a punish. 13 is dangerous grounds for some characters like Kazuya or Brian or whatever. Now 12 is much better, way better. And you can't do any real damage at 12 for most characters unless it's Jun, right? She can still do that. And the other one is the heat smash out of Genjutsu. Because this jails you into blocking it, it doesn't really matter. You have to block that low first, but you'll get jailed into the whole thing. It still stays minus 12 afterward now instead of 14. That used to be 14, which is a lot. Now 12, not that bad. For a move that's a low and then recovers your health now and is, you know, a chunk of damage anyway, that's a heat smash. Only minus 12 for a low one, that's pretty good. That's a pretty nice improvement. You should be fearless about that. Don't live your life worried about minus 12. Go for it. You got your Genjutsu's got a low and a low heat smash. Go for it. Have no fear. The rest of the things that they changed are pretty miscellaneous. The first thing is forward 2-2 now a tornado. And I'm not sure why. You see that said 42 damage? That's 39. That's your go-to way to tornado without having to spend health, without using Kazama power. Like your combo would be this. For example, 44 damage. Now you can do the new move. 45 damage. Yeah, it's more. It's the same number of hits, so the scaling is blah, blah, blah. It's 1 or 2 more combo damage hits, and that's it. I cannot find a single, like, crumple state where that works, where something else didn't before. Right? Like, that doesn't convert combos that normally didn't. Thanks to down 1+2 and up forward 2, you can convert, like, any crumple stun state. So that doesn't add to those. I think it's just a new tornado attack to use that doesn't spend power. I don't know. It's a little bit more damage. That's the only thing I could think of. It doesn't, like, what I kind of thought they might have done is add it so that if you got counter hit, it would automatically tornado. It does not, as you can see. Even if you get counter hit by the end of it, that's still there. That's always been a part of it. If they try to challenge you doing stance transitions, right? You did the second hit and counter hit them. That's unchanged. They didn't even change that into a tornado on its own. But the move, the second hit on an airborne tornado. So go figure. Kind of a weird one there. Another kind of important change, but not something you really want to think about, is the counter hit on full crouch down forward 2. This now starts the scaling at 70%. You can see it's 120 because it's a counter hit, but the very next hit, which is that, is now 70% scaling. So the whole combo does less damage now because the scaling starts at 70%, whereas you can see before in the old patch, the next hit, the hop kick, started at 100% scaling normally because they're on the ground, right? So all that does is take away about 10 damage from that combo when you catch it off the counter hit version. I don't know if she needed that. It's not like there aren't other counter hit lows that lead to whole combos for other characters. I don't know. If you still pretty much get the same damage. If you just got that and did a combo and you did the counter hit into that, you'd get the same combo damage before. The way scaling used to work, or still works, you get the same overall damage. Now you're going to get definitely less damage from getting the low counter hit. So I guess that's a way to, like, take the edge off of that. It's a really good low. It's not amazing. It's not game breaking, but they took a bit of an edge off of that. It's not a huge deal, but 10 less damage here and there. Also from the full crouch state, down forward 3, when it's a clean hit, it's supposed to knock them down like that. What they did was adjust it from the angles. You can see I can get pretty far to the side there. I'm technically still in the front, right? That knocked her down, and I'm practically in her hip pocket right there. That did not work, because you can see in old patch, if you're 2 degrees off to the side here, you don't get the knockdown. It's just a weird, erratic behavior that need to get changed for a lot of things, especially things that are hit throws like Genjutsu 2. They didn't touch that, but that could use it. If that's a little bit off center, that tends to not work. So that's one of the clean hits that got a little bit more adjustment on its frontal hitbox quote. What defines being hit from the front was made a lot more consistent. So that's cool. That's a good move all around. I mean, it's a little bit risky, but it's, you know, you got a lot of dangerous stuff. Throwing that in and getting your knockdown is pretty cool. Not getting your knockdown sucks, right? So they fixed that. But that's it. Those are kind of really miscellaneous sort of changes. They don't change the way she plays at all. The only thing that's going to change the way you play is more frequent use of your healing moves. All your stuff that goes into Izumo, those are better. You're going to get health back whenever you hit those. And then having health back from Izumo 1-1 means your combos can do some health recovery. Your hop kick now has a little bit of health recovery baked into it. So just proper use of these goes a long way. Your Punisher is not as bad as it was. So that's technically doing less damage, which you could think of as more health, you know? That's the way, that's all this really is. It's another way to leverage her health better, and I think they gave her some really powerful stuff to do it. I think this is going to go a long, long way to fixing what they did in the last patch, making Jun strong again, possibly even too strong. If she could just stay alive forever with this stuff, they might have to turn it back down a little bit, but we'll see. So that's everything that's in the patch. If there's anything I didn't think of or I missed or I got wrong, or you can think of a good reason for forward 2-2, let me know in the comments down below. There might just be something that didn't click with me or something I overlooked. Shadow nerfs that you found, anything like that. I'd love to hear it down below. There'll be a couple more of these for characters that I kind of know how to play. I'm not going to do the whole cast. I don't know anything about Steve. It doesn't mean anything. But I might do it for Lily and Leo and maybe Reina if I learn some more about her. We're getting there. We're getting there on the Reina front. So those will be coming out soon. Be sure to click the subscribe and the notify and all that stuff down below so you get the alerts when these videos come out. And hopefully I will see you in one of those. Later.